Sir Gerry Alanguilan. He is the artist of local comic books, Elmer, Wasted, and he wrote yung Rodsky Patotsky that was illustrated by Arnold Arey, nasa kabilang room. Yan. Tapos, he is also known for inking yung mga works ni Lainey Liu sa mga international comics. So, ayan po. And most importantly, he's here to talk about yung Komiks Museum na is started online and now is may physical museum na which can be found sa may San Pablo, Laguna. Okay? So,
good afternoon sa inyong lahat. Yung question na laging tinatanong sa akin kung bakit ako nagtayo ng museum. Actually, wala talaga akong balak gumawa ng kahit anong museum, whether online or actual. Pero around the year 2000, may mga lumalapit sa akin mga young artists and they were showing me their work for critique. And napansin ko, they were very heavily influenced by foreign artists. Asian artists, Japanese artists, American artists. Napag-isipan ko, bakit wala tayong mga bagong young artists na influenced ng ating mga old masters? Sina Nestor Redondo, sina Alex Nino, sina Alfredo Alcala. And thinking further upon it, naisip ko, wala nga pala silang pwedeng puntahan anywhere online or wala silang pwedeng puntahang bookstore kung saan makakakuha sila ng reference material about the history of Philippine comics. I know I tried. Meron siguro mga paisa-isang book like yung nilabas ng Atlas, History of Comics in the Philippines and Other Countries. Pero online, konting-konti lang ang nakita ko nung time na yon. Ngayon, di ba, mapapansin nyo, kahit saan kayo pupunta, ang dami-daming mga material about history of Philippine comics. Pero nung time na yon, year 2000, halos wala. So I decided to invest yung life savings ko just to buy old comics, vintage comics, and vintage original artwork of all places sa eBay. No? Kasi saan ako pupunta, di ba? To buy old comics. Hindi ko pa naman alam na nagbebenta pala ng mga old comics sa mga like sa Cubao X, ganyan. Pero kahit Cubao X, medyo bago yung kanilang mga comics today, mga 70s, ganyan. Sa eBay ako nakakita ng mga talagang luma, as in from the 50s and the 60s. And dahil sa eBay yun, siyempre auction site yun, before I started buying, meron siyang regular price na lumalabas per issue. Pero nung pumasok na ako and I started buying all this stuff, biglang tumaas yung value ng mga lumang comics, especially yung mga 50s. Meron isang issue ng Filipino comics that nakipaghabulan ako, nakaabot ng $100. Oh my God. Tuloy niyo yun. Kasi kutsing yung cover. Kasi by this time, nung nangongolekta ako, na-realize ko na yung value ng gawa ni Kuching. Long before siya naging national artist. So yung ganyan yung mga adventures ko, collecting, naubos ang pera ko just to buy these old comic books. And I scanned them, and a lot of them I uploaded into an online Philippine Comics Museum. This was around 2002, 2003. And it lasted for a long time. Ngayon, ang pangarap ko, magkaroon talaga ng actual museum somewhere na pwede kong i-curate and makita mismo yung actual comic books. Makita yung actual original artwork And it's a place where they can actually hold these comics in their hands and makita nila how it felt like, how it looked like. Around mga 2015 or so, yung isang friend ko na architect owned a cafe in San Pablo City, malapit sa bahay namin. Sabi niya, "Oh, Jer, gusto kong since ikaw ay artist dito sa San Pablo, gusto kong i-devote itong buong space na to to showcase yung artwork mo." No, sabi sa akin. Sabi ko, "Wag na lang ako lang. Mag-feature tayo ng mga ibang artist. Actually, gawin na natin Komiks Museum." Ano? So, isip niya, oo nga, no, pwede yun. Pero sabi niya, ang kanyang condition, with emphasis on San Pablo City artists. Kasi marami rin talaga namang mga artists, comic book artists and writers na based in San Pablo. Isa na yung si Rudy Florese, na artist ng Tarzan and Korak nung araw, which also happens to be yung aking father-in-law. And si Felix. Ano pa nga? Ha? Hindi. Si Calixto. LP Calixto, na writer siya ng comics. And belatedly, nalaman ko, another Tarzan artist, si Frank Reyes, sa San Pablo din nakatira. Hanggang ngayon, buhay pa, nandun pa rin siya. No? Marisa Kilos, mga artist. Pero I also made sure na na-feature yung mga talagang masters natin, like sina Coaching, sina Alex Nino, Larry Alcala, and one of the most prized originals sa collection ko na naka-display doon is from Alex Nino, from Larry Alcala. Meron ako isang Nestor Redondo, which I'm really proud of. So, if anybody wants to go there and look at these comic books, they can go there at any time except Monday. Every day of the week, bukas yung museum and there's no entrance fee. Dapat siguro mag-charge na tayo. Pero at least naman, magkape kayo, gandong kayo, kasi sila yung reason talaga kung bakit merong museum. Dahil binigay sa amin yung space for free, basically. So, kasi kung ako lang, hindi ko ma-afford magtayo. Hindi ko ma-afford yung rent, hindi ko ma-afford yung... So far, ang dami na nagpunta doon, and hopefully one day makapag-expand pa kami. Tuloy pa rin yung online museum, although nagkaroon ng konting glitch. Nasira yung database ng online museum ko, so I'm slowly rebuilding it again sa komiksmuseum.com. Tapos yung actual museum, merong page sa Facebook, hanapin nyo na lang, Tumikero Komiks Museum. So that's how it stands right now. Anybody has a question, I'll be here until later.
Sir, have you tried approaching NCCA?
NCCA, punta na ba sa atin yun? Sa atin. For funding, gano'n?
Yes, sir. So, National Committee for...
Hindi ko pa naisip eh. Actually, for a long time kasi medyo hindi ako masyadong sa government. Pero right now, I'm willing to see what they have to offer. Pag nagkaroon ng pagkakataon, kakausapin ko sila. Kasi nagkakaroon sila ng respect ngayon sa comics eh, unlike nung araw. More questions? Doesn't have to be related to museum, kahit ano.
When you made Elmer and Wasted, I was wondering if you had challenges, like what were the similarities and differences compared to when you were inking for Marvel? Like, were there you had to write the story. And your
There's
own
a entire world of difference if you're working for Marvel and if you're creating your own comic books. Yung Marvel kasi is a job. It pays steady income, so ayun yung incentive doon for me. But if you're working on your own comics, ang challenge mo talaga is to just sit down and work on it. Ayun ang problema ng maraming mga creators. Parang hindi na alam kung paano mag-uumpisa, hindi na alam kung paano, anong gagawin, ganyan. Also, kapag may alam mo na kung anong gagawin, yung incentive ba to start working on it, actually working on it. Minsan, internet muna ako, magbasa muna ako ng mga cat memes, ganyan. Nood muna ako ng movie, Netflix muna, ganyan. Ang daming distractions ngayon eh. Unlike yung araw na halos wala, even if you focus and concentrate. Ngayon, you really have to try extra hard just to get all these distractions out of your mind and just actually work on your comic book. Ang isa pang challenge working on your own comic, syempre, since wala kang wala kang publisher, you have to go and promote it yourself, distribute it yourself. You need to attend conventions like this to sell it, and or to find people to sell it for you with commission, of course. Buti na lang, I've been friends with Sandy Sansolis for a long time, and anytime na meron akong bagong release, kukuha siya ng mga 100, 200 copies. So automatic agad na meron akong outlet for my work. So, ayun, so far, isa pang challenge is you really have to have an editor just to check ba kung anong ginagawa mo. Not to say what, not for them to tell you what to do, but for them to guide you. Like mamaya, hindi mo kasi nare-realize kapag you're so close to it, hindi mo alam, mali-mali na pala ang grammar mo, mali-mali na pala ang spelling mo. Hindi mo nakapansin yun eh. Nung ginagawa ko yung Elmer number 4, akala ko okay na siya. I've read it so many times, mga 10 times ko na nabasa. And then nilabas ko. Tapos, after niya lumabas, hawak ko na yung actual print comic book. Ang daming mali ng spelling. Pati ko ito nakita! Yan. Tapos, ang daming sumusulat sa akin, Jer, mali. Ang daming mali. Ganun. My goodness. So, next time gagawa ako ng book, I really have to have somebody proofread it for me. So, yun, one of the challenges. Na hindi mo na-realize ginagawa ng publisher yun for you if you're working for a big company like Marvel. Ano pa? Questions?
Yeah, somebody asked na, so, di ba you created yung mga works ng sa Komiks Museum. So, how did you get your hand on those artworks? Tsaka gano'ng katagal mo siya kinulit?
Started collecting around year 2000 and hanggang sa naubos yung pera ko mga a few years later. Ngayon hindi na ako nakakabili talaga, hindi ko na-afford. Pero thankfully enough, dahil I've amassed so many material na original artwork, comics, and then people see that I preserve them and that I take care of them and I display them for people to see. Marami na nagdo-donate ng mga lumang comics. And natutuwa naman ako. Actually, a few years ago, binag-donate na sa akin ng mga Alex Neo originals. Okay, good. Yung parang swerte ko naman na So, when people donate to the museum, hindi siya nagiging akin. I don't consider it mine. I still consider it theirs. So, I try to make it a point na gumawa ng listahan ng people who donated at andun yung pangalan nila sa museum habang naka-display yung yung artwork na telling people that these artworks belong to these people and I'm just, safeguarding it for them. Gusto mo tanong niya?
I know syempre na-start nyo is like a museum, so it's really parang documenting the past of Philippine comics. Pero nag-start na ba kayo or maybe nagpa-plan kayong mag-start ng like curating like newer works like for for the newer like generation, like baka may mga magagaling like maybe sila Ian Santa Maria or
Actually, I'm glad you asked that kasi marami rin nagtatanong sa akin via email na why do I focus on these old comic book artists and not so much do sa bagong generation. There's a very simple answer to that is because itong mga older artists na to, they have nobody to promote their work for them. Unlike today na kunwari siya may comic siya, he can promote it himself, no, and pero eventually I will eventually cover these artists also. Nag-start na ako actually do sa online museum featuring newer artists para at least people would be aware of their accomplishments and who they are online, ngayon kasi I still have so many material. I think nasa mga maybe 5-10% pa lang ang na-feature ko sa museum. Ang dahil pang nakatago sa bahay. So I want to rotate at least lahat ng mga yon eventually sa museum. And then kapag naubusan na ako, I can probably expand and start devoting a section to newer artists. Yes.
So you were vlogging before, right? You were vlogging?
Vlogging?
Oo, diba?
Hindi ko alam ano yan. Alam yan.
May nakilala na ko kayong nag-visit sa Komiks Museum kasi nakita nila yung vlog nyo na nagpo-promote ng Komikon Museum.
Wala pa naman nagpupunta sa museum specifically dahil nakita yung mga video ko, pero mayroon na nagpunta sa bahay. Actual bahay namin. From Japan actually. Sila pa nagano kasi for some reason parang nag-hit yung isang video doon sa Japan and alam nila kung anong video yun. And talagang hinarap nila yung bahay namin. Nakita ko na may mga nakatayo sa bahay namin mga Japanese. Sa labas, pag ganun-ganun sila, dalang tripods and then tapos yun, pala hinahanap nila. So, gumawa sila ng feature about yung video, kung bakit ginawa and everything. Had to learn a few Japanese words. Yung pupunta kayo sa aking channel, Komikero channel sa YouTube, hanapin nyo Konnichiwa, ang title ng video. Ayun yung video diary ko of what happened nung araw na nagpunta sila sa bahay. Oh, you can ask any question kahit vlogging o naman yun.
How does it feel to be an international?
Hindi ko expected actually. Gawa ng nung ginawa ko yung video niyon, yung Hey Baby, 2009. I'm just bullshitting around sa bahay, parang humingiti lang ako sa camera ganun. And then binibideo ko. Hindi ko lang kung bakit, no? So and then after ko ma-upload, pinalimutan ko na. Biglang all of a sudden, a few years later, may nag-feature sa kanya online and then may gumamit sa TV. And then it take off for some reason. And then all of a sudden, meron ng mga lumalapit sa akin. May nag-grocery ako sa Pure Gold. And then, hey, nasa Ha? Oo.
Singapore, sa Singapore.
Saan man yun. Sa ibang bansa, pupunta ako. And then, anong ginagawa mo rito? What are you doing here? You're that face on the internet. Yeah. And, hindi pa rin ako nasasanay. Actually, I don't want, ayoko masanay. Parang, I want to be surprised all the time. Minsan sinasabi ko, hindi ako yun. Mukha ko lang, gano'n. Pero minsan, oh, sige, tara, sure tayo, ganyan. Para masaya mo sa mga friends mo na na-meet mo yung guys sa internet, gano'n. Minsan nakikisakay na lang ako eh. Actually, merong mga lumalapit sa akin. Ngayon, uy, ano, ginagamit na naman yung mukha mo sa gantong meme, ganyan. Ba't ayaw mo i-report, ganyan. Eh ako naman, parang, ano na yan eh, parang internet eh, hindi mo na kaya labanan yan eh. It has a life of its own na. Kung aawayin mo pa, ganyan, baka matawag ka pang, oh, kay boomer. Kaya sumakay na lang ako. Gano'n naman eh, kapag nasa internet ka eh, sasakay ka na lang talaga eh.
Yung about, sorry, sa museum, so how often mo siya na-update or na-change yung artworks? Or is it still the same one?
Ang balak namin kasi talaga, once in a while, i-update namin para at least mag-rotate yung mga ano.
Artworks.
Minsan di namin nagagawa eh, kasi it also takes a bit of money din eh. Kasi we have to frame artworks and reproduce them and gagawa kami ng print na malalaki. Kapag nagkakapera kami, saka namin na-update. Kasi ngayon, parang once pa lang ata tayo nakapag-update, nag-expand tayo sa labas eh. And yun, parang nag-double yung size nung ano. Sabi nga nung owner nung cafe sa amin, pati dito isama nyo na yung buong cafe. Di wag naman. Pero ako naman, sige. Parang talagang Komiks Museum na talaga, Komiks Cafe Museum na talagang pupuntahan. Yun.
May schools na ba or students na po? Sorry.
Ano?
May schools na ba or students na pupunta doon?
Meron na. Ang nagiging problem ko lang pagdating sa mga schools is minsan isang buong klase ang gustong pumunta and they're like 60. Gano'n. Hindi sila kasya doon eh kasi maliit lang naman yung museum ko. Kung sinasabi ko na lang sa kanila, they can come in the museum maybe 15, 20 students at a time and then yung next batch naman. Gano'n. Paminsan-minsan meron na pupunta, mga nag-field trip. Buti na nga, alam niyo na ang field trip ngayon eh. Siguro mga older sa atin dito, Jonas. Yung field trip namin noon, field trip talaga sa Manila Zoo, ganyan, mga lugar na gano'n. Ngayon, field trip malls eh.
Yeah.
Di ba?
We just had one.
Pero at least sa malls, may mga planetarium, merong mga believe it or not, gano'n. Nung time kasi namin, wala pang mall yata. Harrison Plaza pa lang eh. Mall noon eh. Hindi dito sa inyo, kaya karamihan sa inyo, nakatingin lang sa akin, ano yung Harrison Plaza? Yun lang.
Meron mga field trip sa atin mga kinder grade 1. Oo, mga nasa sila 150.
Talaga?
So,
Wow.
15 by batch mo ba? And they're really happy to see yung mga comics. Tuwa sila dito makikita. Kaya lang, ang liit ng room, parang how would you accommodate those kids? Siyempre, you have to adjust yung explanation mo about comics.
Just a little word, wife ko si Aileen, she curates the museum, we curate the museum together. Kapag hindi ako available, siya yung humaharap sa mga tao. Meron dyan na gusto mong tanong.
medyo off topic po sa museum.
Okay lang, okay lang.
When it comes to Filipino comics or comics with a K, ano sa tingin niyo yung indicators or hints na nagpapakita na Filipino comics talaga siya in terms of visual tsaka iconography?
Ang isang natutunan ko when it comes to Philippine comics, regardless of yung style na gamitin mo, whether gumamit ka ng manga or gumamit ka ng American style, European, ganyan, lumalabas yung culture natin eh. You can't really help it eh. Kasi it's part of us. You don't even realize you're doing it. Lumalabas yung kultura mo doon sa comics. Like for instance ako, when I created Elmer, intention ko talaga sa kanya is to distribute it internationally. Ayun ang agad ang aking goal. So everything was drawn and written and presented as generically as possible. Walang specific places kang makikita ron like Quezon City, ganyan. Makikita mo lang Junction City. Ano yung Junction City, di ba? It could be anywhere. Pero, nung lumabas na yung mga reviews niya, not here in the Philippines but abroad, may mga lumabas na reviews, sila mismo nagsasabi na kitang-kita ang Philippine culture doon sa gawa ko. Which I didn't really intend to do, no? It just happens, no? Basta I really believe that if a Filipino is really immersed in his own culture, dito ka nakatira sa Philippines, lalabas at lalabas kung sino ka doon sa gawa mo. So, yun. You don't even have to think about it. Any more questions?
It's kind of related dun sa ano niya kasi nga diba like you said earlier na the main reason why you created the museum is because most artists like yung mga modern artists, they're influenced by like foreign artists like Jim Lee, etc. So you're saying na siguro it is more with the story or it's more with yung how you actually present the comic book that makes it Filipino or because I think doon sa mga luma parang more realistic yung style nila like maybe Kuching.
May mga nagsasabi na yung mga works ni na Kuching, ni na Nestor Redondo, have also been influenced by even older artists like sina Alex Raymond, ganyan, sina Frank Frazetta. And in fairness, medyo influence talaga sila ng mga ganong artists. Pero they were able to take those influences and create something unique na alam mong Pilipino lang. I mean, if you punta kayo sa mga Comic Odyssey or punta kayo sa YCS, Jonally, marami siya mga lumang comics from the 70s. Makakita kayo ng, sabihin natin, Unexpected. Yun yung title ng comics, Unexpected, Weird War Tales, or titingin kang ganyan. Uy, Pilipino nag-drawing ito without even knowing kung sino yung artist. Alam mo Pilipino, you feel it in your gut. Kasi kita mo, it's very familiar. Sometimes, di ko ma-explain pero they were able to inject some kind of Filipino thing into the drawings. Maybe it's in the details, maybe it's in the patterns ng mga lines. In terms of art, siguro ay lang masasabi ko. Pero in terms of story, lalo na yung mga ginagawa ng mga young artists natin ngayon, doon mo primarily makikita. Ang pumapansin ko, ang predominant themes ng ating bagong comics is mythology, which is parang ang lalim ng ng influence sa atin. For some reason, siguro dahil nga we're also a very religious country, yung ating comics is also very steeped in that kind of mythology, religion, superstition, and mythical characters. You know. Konting-konti lang yung gumagawa ng mga, sabihin natin, mga autobiographical or mga war. Ganyan. Kasi it's not part of our experience. Wala, hanggang doon na lang yung aking train of thought, tumigil bigla.
Kasi parang yun yung isa sa mga challenges. Like halimbawa, gagawa ka ng comics. Siyempre, influence ka ng manga, ng DC or Marvel. Pag mag-drawing ka, parang isip mo, parang ano mo to, parang Japanese or parang ano. So, you tend to like add stuff na parang, yeah, susuotan ko to ng like clothing na pang Pilipino. Pero sometimes it still comes off as, you know, not local enough. Tapos kung minsan, like, if you try too hard naman, nagiging parang, ano ba yun, medyo nasisira yung style. And, so medyo yun lang.
If I can make suggestion, don't think about it na lang. Kasi naniniwala ako na noon kasi around 2003, palaaway pa ako sa mga gumagawa ng manga. Alam ng mga ibang artist dito yon na ba't ka drawing ng manga Pilipino tayo, gano'n. Siyempre medyo I'm still developing yung aking philosophy about art, you know. Pero as time went on, na-realize ko na yung pagka-Pilipino natin lumalabas whatever we do, kahit pa manga yung style. Titignan ko yung mga culture class ngayon. Makikita ko yung mga Filipino influences andun pa rin So, suggestion ko na lang talaga to anybody, huwag mo na sadyain. Mas mahirap kasi pag sadyain mo, baka kasi hindi pa maging authentic Just do what you feel is right. Do your best drawing, do your best story. Make it as professional looking as possible. Doon ka na lang mag-concentrate to make it look as professional as possible. And talagang push yourself to make it the best drawing you ever made, na kapag ginawa mo to, sabi mo, shit, pag ito nakita ng mga tao, patay sila, gano'n. Gano'n ako mag-drawing parang, pag nakita nila ako, sa Komikon, ganyan, hit ito, gano'n. Anyway, just concentrate on making the best comic book that you can, and then just worry about yung culture later, kasi lalabas at lalabas yun
Could you share with us your philosophy for writing?
For writing, bibigay ako ng example. Like for instance, nung ginawa ko yung Wasted, people were expecting me to do more of the same afterwards. More Wasted stuff. Actually, dami naghahanap sa akin ng, uy, Wasted sequel, ganyan. Ay, spoiler. Tayo na yung main character So nung pinakaunang Komikon in 2004 ba? 2005. May nagtanong sa akin on stage what my next serious project is. Kasi nung time na yun, ginagawa ko yung mga Prestat Batch, panikalakuhan lang. What my next serious project is. Sabi ko, my next serious project is about chickens. Kasi, pinagtanong, ano Wasted? The chickens? Parang kailangan talaga ipasok yung Wasted sa no? So, nung lumabas yung first issue nung Elmer, nakita nila galit yung main character, Jake. Tapos it's wasted with chickens, gano'n. Talagang wasted pa rin. Ako kasi parang, once matapos ko na yung isang project, yung Wasted, ayoko na siyang balikan. Tapos na siya, no? It's a whole complete thing. I don't want to go back to it. So nung ginawa ko yung Elmer, natapos ko siya, people were expecting, oh no, Elmer sequel, ganyan naman. So parang, no, ayoko na. After nitong Elmer, tapos na yan. Even though na-realize ko, I was able to create a universe that ang dami pang stories na pwedeng sabihin. Marami ka pang pwedeng stories under this yung Elmer universe. Kasi itong story niya is just one family. Ang libo-libo, millions and millions of shaken families. You can tell the story, all of those stories. Pero ayoko na eh. I want to move on to something else. So ginawa ko naman yung Rodsky. So it's a completely different thing. And then after ng Rodsky, ginawa ko yung Bacoca, which is a completely different thing naman. Merong mga ibang artists and writers that once they hit upon a good idea, ayun na lang ang gagawin nila. Which is okay. Okay lang yun. Kasi there's also value. There's big value in continuing a character for a long time. Kasi talagang nai-establish yung character well. And then, if you do it well enough, magkakaroon ng Netflix series. Diba? Ako naman, nahihirapan ako eh sa ganun. Parang hindi ko type gawin yung something na tuloy-tuloy. Each project has to be different from the last one. Kasi parang I have so many stories I want to tell. Marami pa akong gustong sabihin. Right now, yung ginagawa kong comics is completely different from anything I've done before. So, not sure kung kailan ko matatapos yun kasi basta maraming challenges doing this new comic book. So yun ang gusto ko eh. I don't want my next project to be easy na alam ko na gagawin ko dito. I'll just bigyan ko ng situation yung mga chickens and then this is how they deal with it and gano'n. Alam ko na, sanay na ako. Pero I don't want that. I want something to challenge me every time para talagang hindi ako maging complacent sa aking creativity. I want to keep pushing it. So ayun ang pagdating sa writing, ayun ang gusto kong gawin.
When you get stuck, when you're writing, it's great when it flows, but there are times that you get stuck. How do you get unstuck? How do you move away from that roadblock?
Meron time na ginagawa ko yung yung nag-start pa lang ako ng Elmer na talagang stuck ako, hindi ko na kung anong gagawin ko. Kasi I haven't really written it sa blog ko before. But it took a long time starting Elmer. It took a long time before I got the groove for it. Parang nagkaroon ako ng twice na inumpisahan ko siya and then na-realize ko hindi ito yung tamang opening ng story. I have to do something else. So iniwan ko siya for a few months and I started again with a different beginning. And then na-realize ko parang hindi pa rin tama. So ano kaya gagawin ko dito? No? So I just exposed myself to a lot of things I enjoy watching, like horror movies, ganyan, or mga iba't ibang klaseng movies, listen to different kinds of music, just immersing myself in the creativity of others, and so eventually na-click din finally yung Elmer. Alam ko na kung paano umpisahan, and then after nun dire-diretso na siya. Right now, medyo stuck na naman ako dun sa aking bagong thing. Right now, I have, I think, mga 10 pages already done. Maybe 20 more pages, pwede ko na ilabas yung first issue. No? Pero, I'm still thinking about it. Hindi ko alam kung paano tutuloy. So, once again, I am just, exposing myself to other the creativity of other artists. Ngayon siguro mamaya I'm going to ask somebody to go around and get me a few new comic books kasi I want to keep up to date kung ano yung mga ginagawa ng mga mga youngsters ngayon. Di ba, Moy? So, malay ko, baka mamaya may maka-inspire sa akin gusto mga gawa ng mga young artists. Kasi every year talaga, so totoo lang, dito sa Komikon, every year, meron ako na-encounter na comic book that I find, oh my God, ang ganda nito, ang galing nito. Kahit siguro very rough pa yung kanyang presentation, nakikita ko yung potential ng artist na yun. I'm glad to say na in the past I've seen artists like this, and then ngayon ang gaganda na talaga ng mga ginagawa niya. So hopefully may makita ulit ako this year na ganong klaseng artist that hopefully will inspire me also, and then maalis ako sa aking pagka-stuck sa aking bagong project.
Thank you.
Maganda yung lindol. Bili ng latest copy.
Maganda yung cover.
Maganda yung cover.
Cover, Mr. Chair.
Any more questions?
Ako may tanong.
Oh.
Ano ang pinaka-inspiration mo para sa Werewolf Stars? Ang personal favorite ko sa mga ano.
Ang ganda ng ending.
Sino na nakabasa sa inyo ng Where Bold Stars Go to Die? Actually, kailangan ko pa magpa-reprint kasi bus na eh. So, alam ko, I realize na marami pang hindi nakakabasa. It's actually a personal favorite of mine, yung story na yun. When I lumabas siya 2009, yung buong graphic novel. Pero by that time, I was already thinking about it for 10 years. Meron na isulat ko na siya. And then naisip na parang feeling ko hindi ko kayang i-drawing yung story na yun. So I was always on the lookout for an artist. Marami siyang artist na pinagdaanan, before I settled on, hindi naman talaga nag-settle, before I realized that the best artist for that would be si Arlan Ismenia, which is wala na ngayon. Ano ba yung tanong mo?
Ano yung pinaka-inspiration?
Yung inspiration. Kasi,
were you writing it on a spiritual level, or were you writing it as this what guys do?
I don't want to say too much kasi parang hindi pa lahat.
Okay.
Marami pang hindi nakakabasa, pero
Okay.
I wanted to make a statement with Bold Stars. It was my statement on Bomba Comics na naging popular noong 70s sa Philippines. Bomba Comics were treated as like something cheap, yung something na throwaway. I wanted to create a Bomba Comics that had value, and that had an interesting story na hindi siya patapon, that it respected Bomba Comics as a legitimate genre within comics, So sa format pa lang talagang in-upgrade ko na. Maganda yung papel, as in it was one of the best paper I can use to sa printer na yun. It was a bit expensive, for that time, Marami yang tataka eh, ano yan? Ganyan kamahal yan, ganyan comics na yan. Kasi I don't want it to appear cheap. I don't want it to appear parang throwaway. I wanted to present something that would hopefully be considered as art. So ayun yung yung aking talagang one of the main goals dun sa yung ginawa ko yung Gold Stars. As for the story, ipapareprint na lang ako, so you can find out what I'm talking about. Gold Stars was actually reprinted na rin sa US. Hindi ko lang kung anong naging feedback kasi hindi pa lang binabayaran ng publisher. Hindi ko na kung nagpa-reprint siya kasi walang royalties or anything. Pero at least na na-distribute siya abroad. Ayun. So, yun ang story ng Ball Stars. Kapag nagkapera ako ulit, hopefully, royalties ng X-Men. Nakapagparprint ako ng not only Ball Stars, kundi pati na din ng Wasted. Tsaka yung iba ko pang mga works na out of print na. I want to keep all my books in print, pero sometimes ang hirap.
Not a question, pero comment lang po. Kasi taga New York po ako at susulat ako ng thesis. At I was trying to get a hold of your books through my school's library, and the only book that I could get from them is Where Bold Stars Go to Die. And it was from the Library of Congress in Washington, D.C. So, I don't know.
Did you read it?
They have a copy of your...
Did you read it?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Okay, and more questions? Okay.
Siguro kung may mag-offer ng tumulong sa inyo sa Komiks Museum, siguro anong klaseng tulong ang hinahanap nyo?
Financial actually. Ha? Printer?
Hindi, yung mag-print.
Hindi, ako nga. Financial. So we can... Kasi marami kayong balak dun sa museum eh. We want to... kunwari, there will be a month na gusto namin i-feature si yung bagong national artist, si Gerry Alanguilan. Marami akong material on Gerry Alanguilan na hindi ko pa na-display. Including lots and lots and lots of Kalabog and Bosho strips. Pero hindi original. Restored lang siya. No, and
So, saan sila pwede since sabi niya financial, saan sila pwede magbigay ng pera?
Hindi, kontakin lang nila ako, Gerry Alanguilan at gmail.com. Yun. Iintayin ko yung
Ayun na! Pagkatapos!
Jonas, ang tanong ka.
Have you ever considered selling your comics online in digital form?
Okay, digital. Ito, medyo okay. Meron akong thing about digital. Meron akong mga comics that are available online completely for free to read, like Wasted. You can actually read Wasted for free online. Don't have to pay for anything. Just go to wastedonline.blogspot.com. No, dun siya. And when I was promoting Elmer, the entire first issue I distributed online via website, via CBR file, pinasok ko na rin sa torrent, no, on my own. Ako pinasok ko. Hopefully may mag-pirate noon and then pahingi siya. No? Yung first issue lang at least, no? Para people would realize that this comic book exists. And I think naman yung efforts ko to do that resulted in it being published abroad, no? Kasi may mga nakakita na like yung French publisher ko was able to get a copy of that CBR file, and then he decided na he wants to reprint it. Pero I want my works to exist primarily in print kasi na-realize ko nung time na yon, I think 10 or 15 years ago, maybe 10 years ago, ang lakas nung ugong to bring comics online na talagang it felt like it's almost inevitable. na ganoon talaga ang mangyayari. To a certain extent, it came to pass. Ang dami ka nang mababasang comics. Actually, kahit anong comics mababasa mo na online yan. Provided na alam mo lang kung saan titingin. Pero I was concerned kasi na once naging online lang completely ang mga comics, people would lose a certain kind of experience with comic books na nag-exist before but doesn't exist anymore. Like yung tangible experience of having it in your hands. When I sell my comic books, I don't sell only yung story, yung artwork. I'm also selling an experience. So I want to make sure na talagang may print copy always yung mga works ko. Kasi I want them to experience talaga na may hawak silang ganyan. And if it stays with them for like 10 or 20 years, medyo madilaw-dilaw na siya, ganyan, and it grows old with them. There's a certain value to it, no? Na hindi naman sa inaano ko ang digital, it also has its own advantages and a lot of supporters and a lot of allies. I would hope that I am one of those people na gumagawa pa rin ng sapatos or nag-aayos pa rin ng typewriter or nakikinig pa rin ng plaka, ganyan. And nagbibenta pa rin ng comics on paper, gano'n. So, it's one of the things na gusto kong gawin personally on a personal level. Yung parang mo, Jonas. And more questions. Doesn't have to be about comics or the museum or kahit ano. Tana.
Tungkol sa ano yung criteria niyo para how do you choose which pieces to display in the museum given that you have so much already stored?
Okay. Yung number one criteria ko is that it should impress visually. Na ganyan ang comics natin nung araw. Wow! Ganun. So, meron mga certain pieces na talagang hindi ko inaalis. Kahit kami mag-rotate ng mga artworks, yung mga works ni Alfredo Alcala at ni Cochin at ni Nestor Redondo always has a place in it. Kasi they're some of the best talaga na in terms of visual art. Sila yung talagang pinakil na create nung natin as Filipinos. Lalo na yung gawa ni Alfredo Alcala na Voltaire. I'm so lucky to have a few pieces of Voltaire to have displayed at the museum. Doon sa mga hindi pa nakakita ng artwork ng Voltaire, I invite you to go to the Komiks Museum, yung online at least, no. Ang Komiks Museum is with a K, wala hindi C. komiksmuseum.com. And then makikita nyo doon sa side, meron dong Golden Age artist, click nyo yun. Tapos makikita nyo meron mga listahan ng mga artist, hanap nyo si Alfredo Alcala, click nyo si Alfredo Alcala, lalabas yung mga artworks niya. And then click nyo yung mga, basta isa-isa nyo lang, makikita nyo rin eventually yung Voltaire. And you will realize na pinambarot lang ang tinapayan nung araw. I mean, sayang talaga. Kasi they're some of the best comic book art I've seen. Hindi naman dahil sa Pilipino ko. At Pilipino siya, kaya ako nasabi to. Pero speaking as objectively as I can, talagang it's very, very impressive. So, I make sure na visually impressive yung mga nandun. I also make sure na there are certain pieces that are historically significant, like yung very first comic book, Philippine comic book, which is actually Kenkoy. May mga nagsasabi yung pinakaunang comic book was Halakhak Comics in 1946, pero actually it was Kenkoy. Nag-ano kasi ang Kenkoy nagkaroon ng compilation in 1934. So it's an entire book of reprints of strips of Kenkoy na originally lumabas sa DIY magazine. So basically, since it's an entire book na panay comics, it's a comic book. No? So that's my definition of what a comic book is. So doon sa museum may facsimile nung first comic book na yun. And meron ding mga facsimile ng covers ng Halakhak Comics, which is the first serialized comic book sa Philippines. Meron ding mga mga actual issues ng bonjing ng mga classic characters natin. Darna not so much kasi actually I have to admit Darna is very hard to find. If makahanap man ako ng Darna, very very expensive. So Bonjing, Jezebel, Captain Barbell, Lastic Man, yung mga ganun, at least meron ako. So yung mga ganung early appearances, I make sure na meron doon. And then of course the works of national artists like si Kuching at si Gerry Alanguilan, I make sure na laging meron doon. Especially Kuching, kasi si Kuching is a personal favorite of mine. Yung work niya is the very first thing I thought of when I wanted to do a project that would compile a single story into one book. Kasi ang format kasi ng mga old comics natin is anthologies. Sa isang issue, there would be like 5 continuing stories that would last weeks. That is a format na nakuha natin sa mga American comics, no? Kung titignan niyo yung mga horror comics at mga war comics from the 70s from DC, ganoon yung format na yun. Either one-shots or continuing stories. Ayun yung format na inadapt natin for our own comics early on. So, sabihin natin, ang isang story ni Kuching, yung El Indio, hindi mo siya makabasa in one sitting. Kasi you have to collect all the comics na lumabas, which is almost nearly impossible. So, unless may kilala kang collector. So, ang aking objective was to find a complete set of El Indio, restore them digitally on the computer, and then republish it as a whole complete book. It's a project that took several years, but eventually nailabas namin siya through Vival Publishing in 2009. After nasundan na siya kasi na-inspire na yung family ni Kuching, especially that they are also promoting him as for national artist on time na yun. Naglabas sila, ang dami silang nailabas na mga compilations ng mga works niya. So if you want to read what comic books were like, really like noong 50s, kontakin nyo lang yung family ni Kuching, and you can buy. Hindi ko lang kung may pwesto sila rito ngayon, pero parang wala. Any more questions?
Hindi ko sure kung natanong ko kanina, pero tatanong ko. Ano po ang significance ng lumang comics ngayon sa generation namin ngayon?
Hindi. Lumang comics, parang hindi ko alam kasi hindi naman ako part ng new generation. For a long time, feeling ko, I'm still part of yung young generation, pero na-realize ko, 50 na ako, hindi na ako. Veteran na pala ako, So, at least on time ko, noong time ko na nung bata pa ako, ang significance ng ng mga works nila for me is that it grounded me in what Philippine comics is, at it made me aware of our history, na meron tayong this huge body of work that was on par with international comics. Ayun ang paniniwala ko, no? Some of you may not believe that, pero kung makikita niyo yung mga works ng mga ating mga great masters, you would realize na talagang minsan hindi lang on par minsan lampas pa tayo sa mga gawa nila. Lalo na yung mga comics in the 1950s and 1960s, talagang antindi ng mga comics natin yung time na yun. So knowing that we have that kind of history and that kind of legacy, nabibigyan ako ng pride as a comic book artist na I'm a Filipino. And I have this legacy to continue, no? It doesn't mean na I have to draw like them, no? Hindi yun ang aking sinasabi. Just be inspired na merong mga ganong artist in our past na bigay sa atin, offer sa atin, na we can be inspired by, and hopefully it would influence yung work natin today, not copying them, but to be on par with their professionalism, with the quality of their work, na nagawa na to before, but dapat kailangan malapasan ko to, parang ganon. Hopefully hindi tayo ma-discourage na hindi ko ata kayang gawin yan. Instead of being discouraged, dapat ma-inspire tayo na kayang-kaya ko to, ganyan. Kaya ko din lampasan to. Dapat gano'n yung spirit of it. So it's also one of the big reasons kung bakit ako meron museum, kasi this is the effect I wanted to have, na mabigyan tayo ng background, mabigyan tayo ng ma-remind tayo of our history. So ayun, it's the relevance that I can think of.
Last na pagpunta na yun, how do you see Philippine comics developing, say, 10 years from now?
Kailangan humingi ng malalim. Ngayon kasi parang wala akong idea kung what our comic books would be like 10 years from now. The only thing I can do is hope of what it could be like, na sana our comic books keep developing yung mga gawa ng mga younger artists, that they keep developing their craft, gawa lang sila ng gawa, and then their following projects would be better than their previous ones, na kapag ginawa nila yun, who knows the kind of comic books yung talented artists today would be doing 10 years from now, no? So I for one, I'm very excited, and I'm really looking forward to what we can do as creators in the future. Kasi right now ang dami na agad magagaling no, minsan may mga iba na first or second books pa lang kita mo na agad there's something there. Paano pa kaya in 10 years? So Manix na lang goodness. Yung kanyang mga silent comics is some of the best comic books I've seen. Talaga. Yun. So sana we keep developing. That's what I hope for.
Because historically speaking, diba, university scholars, nobody's archiving the old comics. So, when it comes to your original work, do you feel the same responsibility to archive them for prosperity, for future generations to see your work?
Ay, yung work ko? Wala ba ibang gagawa? Sana may gumawa, di ba? Kasi, I don't know, kasi pag wala na ako, many years from now, hopefully, na since self-publisher ako, baka mamaya wala na rin ang comics ko, gano'n, no? Di ba? So, hopefully, I find a publisher for it that would take care of yung publishing yung comics ko well in the future. If not, actually iniisip ko yan eh. Siguro mag-keep ako ng digital copies ng aking comic books and store it somewhere. Very ano kasi ang digital, very, even though maganda siya for distribution, it's not like safe in deposit box eh, na you can leave it there for 100 years maybe, no? Kasi minsan sisira yung disk, ganyan. You have to keep on updating and backing up files. So it's still something I'm struggling with, kung paano ko may preserve. Lalo na kunwari right now yung files ko are in a very precarious situation, no? Yung paano kung yung hard disk ko mag-fail, andun lahat ng mga original files, wala na, di ba? Paano pa ako makakapag-print ng panibago? So I really have to save it somehow. Hindi ko na kung saan i-store. It's hard to find something to trust online kasi paminsan ngayon they seem to be natin Google, very stable. Pero how about 20 years from now, di ba? Hindi natin alam, mamaya wala ng Google. Wala na rin yung files ko. Dati, Yahoo Mail, akala mo very dependable. Pero ngayon, pawala na rin eh, Yahoo Mail. Uno, saka Gmail, baka mawala rin. So, ang hirap eh. Hopefully in the future, magkaroon ng parang very more or less permanent way of storing digital files. Aside from that, hopefully makahanap ako ng publisher that could publish my works, or maybe find some heirs ko. Ngayon hindi ko alam eh, kasi wala naman ako anak eh, so hindi ko alam kung saan dito papasa yun. That would continue publishing my work. Kasi mahirap din eh, mamaya pag naging public domain. In a way, pag naging public domain ang mga gawa ko, wala na, pwede na siyang andun na siya forever, di ba? Hopefully. No? Yun, it's a good question actually. It's a good question. Hindi ko lang alam yung sagot right now.
Actually related doon, well, yun, estate planning, siguro hindi lang digital, but sino yung may rights, like, siguro balak mo nga sa heirs mo, pero habang walang heir, parang kung namatay kayo bigla, parang sino may rights to ibenta sa publisher yung work mo or ipakita yung work. So, I guess, related doon, aside yung nga, since alam namin yung estate plans mo, kasi tawag doon yung estate mo eh, the Alanguilan, ano. Pero siguro yung question doon, yung Komiks Museum din, parang meron bang turnover plan kapag ano na kayo, sino yung magka-handle na?
Yung kunwari, hindi lang Komiks Museum actually eh, kasi yun namang property hindi amin eh.
Yung content.
Actually right now, I'm still trying to determine kung kanino pupunta siya. Right now, our current plans ko is to just donate it at an existing museum. Pero titignan ko pa, baka may tago lang nila, di ba? Hindi nila i-display. So, I really have to find some place na kung saan i-respect yung material talaga. That who is interested in comics and would be doing, regular projects to keep it alive. Right now, wala pa ako nakikita eh. So, hopefully, before I go, millions of years from now, may mahanap ako. Nag-volunteer ka ba?
Yung malayong San Pablo, yung sa digital pwede ba? Sa digital matutulungan kita, pero yung sa physical na...
Hindi naman kailangan sa San Pablo stay yung artwork eh. So, kahit kanino, basta aalagaan niya.
Oh, pero feeling ko lang malaking budget para ma-keep safe at ma-display eh.
Teka, mayroon bang question dyan na medyo hindi morbid?
Ano yung paborito niyong pagkain ngayon?
Actually, as I get older, kasi ngayon, 51 na ako, I'm finding more value sa more vegetables. No? Hindi dahil kailangan, kundi nasarapan talaga ako actually. Parang sarap ito ah. So, isa sa mga favorite ko is actually just oyster mushroom na nilaga. Tinola. Tinola. Yun. Walang chicken, yun lang mushroom lang.
Icebreaker, very good question yan. Kung niluto ko ng vegetables, might necessarily yung sasuggest nyo. Ano yung sasuggest nyo ng vegetable recipe? Kasi maluto din ako sa bahay. So, might as well. Magamit.
Suggestion ko, oyster mushroom talaga. Sarap
Oyster
siya.
mushroom. Tapos, anything kailangan?
Ha?
Anything na kailangan? Dagdag or?
Wala, actually, luya ba? Talbos ng sili, yun lang. Tapos, pwede mo na apply yan with other gulay. Pwede mo apply sa sayote, pwede mo apply sa papaya, pwede mo apply sa... Para naman iba-iba yung lasa. Any more food questions? No, Jay, food question ka?
Good question.
Ako, good question.
Sige.
Pag lumulo kasi galing San Pablo, ano yung paborito ng kainan dito sa...
Yun.
Manila?
Ayun, okay. Anyway, magandang question. Magandang tanong yan. So far, one of the more important questions. Somebody asked me in this convention. Siyempre, kung kakain kami sa Manila, hindi kami pipili ng something na available sa San Pablo. No? So, walang Jollibee, walang Chowking, walang Kenny Rogers or anything like that. Kasi meron kami sa San Pablo niyan eh. So, yung meron lang sa Manila. So, naghahanap kami ng hopefully yung mga yung mga hindi franchises, hindi corporations, yung mga family-owned type of restaurants. Kahit ano doon siguro, gugustuhan namin. Mas gusto namin talaga na matulungan din yung mga local na mga restaurateurs. Kung may mas-suggest ka, baka pwede namin subukan.
Hindi ko nang pamilya sa area dito.
What is the secret to good San Pablo, man?
The secret to good San Pablo. Kasi sa San Pablo, kung pupunta kayo doon, meron doon mami. Doon lang meron. No?
Pagkagaling yung DCU.
Yeah.
Sa San Pablo lang meron ganong klaseng mami. So, the secret is talagang boiling yung beef for a very long time. Along with the bones. No? Merong secret ingredient eh.
Okay.
Sabihin ko ba? Samahan mo ng sibot. Sino nakakaroon ng sibot? Sibot is parang herbs eh. Parang mga bark ng mga iba't ibang puno na talagang parang pwede mo bilhin sa palengke sa San Pablo. Pag sinama mo yun sa food, nagkakaroon ng ibang lasa. Pag isama mo yun doon, pinakuloan mo sa beef for a long time, like 8 hours. Super sarap ng inyong sabaw. Napag-isip siya, oh.
Oo, walang oras.
Gawa tayo.
Yun talaga. Ubus ang iyong gas, kaya doon ang ginagamit nila anong punong kahoy. So, para hindi sila malugi. Marami namang kahoy doon eh. So, any more food questions? Okay lang. Anyway, pag pupunta ka ng museum, kasi ang museum ay nasa loob ng isang cafe. Dito doon may kape, mayroong food, ganyan. So, kung gusto niyo ako tulungan sa comic book museum, pag bisita kayo, kumain din kayo doon para lalong tumagal yung museum. Kasi pag nagsara yung cafe, wala na, sarap na rin kami. Yun. So, suggest ko subukan yung tinapaan, sarap yung tinaparon. Tsaka ng lukban longganisa. Baka ano na, lasing na or something.
Meron pa mga 10 minutes,
10
15 minutes.
O sige, more questions.
Sir, di ba we all know naman na yung Wasted was written because you were broken heart. So my question is, when you met your wife, is there something about her that reminds you of your ex, the reason why you fell in love with her?
Wala na. Kasi maging unfair sa kanya yun, di ba? So, it took me a long time to get over yung girl na yun, yung girl that's the reason for Wasted. How many years? Sa ang daming years na. It took me several years. Nung nag-break kami, sabi ko sa sarili ko, papahaba ako ng buhok. Until balikan niya ako. Pag di niya ako binabalikan, hahaba ang buhok ko. So after mga 3 years, na-realize ko hindi na babalik yung babae. Buhok ko nandito na. Mahaba na. No? So, sabi ko, time na para magpagupit. No? So, nagpagupit ako. And then, it wasn't until a year later na meet ko siya. Siyempre, get over ko na yung previous, wala na. Kahit paisipin ko siya, makita ko yung picture niya, wala na ako nararamdaman. Because, tama lang naman. No? Kasi kung buhat-buhat ko pa rin siya, nung meet ko yun, parang unfair, di ba? So, hindi rin talaga tama. Tsaka hindi rin maglalast yun. Kami, ilang taon na kami. Kasama, more than 20 years na. So, that means tama yung ginawa ko.
Since nabanggit niya yung Wasted, naalala ko lang. Hindi, kasi nung 2000, nag-intern ako sa Pulp. Doon yung pinapadaling artwork nyo. Tapos 1 week nang umalis ako, nasunog. So nasama yung artwork nyo. Yung tanong ko, paano nyo na-restore yung Wasted? Yung files para sa reprint ng Wasted.
Pinalala pa talaga yan. Sunog yung originals. Actually, talagang wala nang... I think there's only mga 5 or 6 existing pages ng original art ng Wasted kasi nasunog na nga siya sa office ng Pulp. Kasi yung time na yun, mas gusto rin lang kunin yung original para sila mag-scan. No? So ang ginawa ko, in-scan ko yung actual comic book. Ang pinili ko ay yung pulp version. Kasi malinaw yung yung copies nila. So in-scan ko siya at a very high resolution, nasa I think mga 600 dpi. And then, wala na akong halos ginawa dun eh. Malinis naman siya eh. So, yung huling printing ng Wasted is actually based sa scans na kinuha ko dun sa pulp version.
Ako din nagsascan nun, tapos nasayang din yung... Hindi ako din yung intern na nagsascan yung iba.
Ideally kasi gusto ko talaga sa originals ko kunin yung scan, pero wala na eh. Naisip ko, papareprint pa ba ako? Kasi dumating yung point na I wanted to redraw Wasted from the beginning. Kasi na-recognize ko na talagang pangit yung pagka-drawing ko dun sa Wasted. It just represent yung kaya ko as an artist. Pero kaya ganun yung drawing na yun, kasi talagang masama ang loob ko eh. And talagang ganun lang ako ng ganun. So na-realize ko later on na it's part of what Wasted is. Yung ganung quality of art. Oh, na yung pagka-amateur niya. So, pinabayaan ko na. Hindi ko na tinuloy yung redraw plans ko. So, hopefully, pag like nang sinabi ko kanina, pag nagkapera ako, baka magparprint ulit ako ng Wasted. Kasi marami pa rin naghahanap eh. Sino ba hindi nakakabasa ng Wasted? Dahil pa rin, no? So, marami pa akong pwedeng benta ng Wasted. Paglabas.
Sir,
Okay.
bukas po ba yung museum yung December break?
Hindi, buti pa hintayin mo na lang yung announcement dun sa Facebook page. Kasi it would depend dun sa dun sa cafe. Kung bukas sila or hindi. May mga araw kasi ng Pasko na sarado sila. Oh. Kung ano kasi yung kung ano ang kanilang schedule, hindi na schedule ko. So, really depends on them. Taas ka ba na kamay? Taas ka na kamay, ano?
Hindi.
Tanong ka ngayon, paano yan? Wala kang choice.
Kung may tatanong ka sa akin, anong matatanong ko sa'yo? Anong magandang
Okay.
tanong sa'yo?
Bakit ka nandito ngayon?
Kasi interesado ako sa anong malalakad yun dito sa panel.
Generic eh. Parang nasagot ko na rin yun eh. Yun, nagtaas ang kamay. Wala kang choice, tatanong ka. May nagtaas ang kamay.
Yeah, sino po sa, di ba nung may Bomba Comics, may rumor na some of the Golden Age artists nun, like Redondo, actually made their own under the table Bomba Comics Museum. I'm wondering kung nabasa niyo ba yun? Like if you read them, like if you've seen the ones that they made, or are they hard?
I was able to read, actually meron ako kasama ng collection ko, mga Playboy comics, ganyan. So, pero local, hindi siya, malamang wala yung permission from Playboy. Gamitin yung name na Playboy. Kasi meron din akong iba pang mga comics na part of my collection. Ngayon, kung yung ibang artist doon Ines Redondo, hindi ko alam. Kasi, siyempre, they want to use their real name. Pero makikita mo sa quality ng art, no? Dahil hindi maganda yung drawing, I'm sure na hindi Ines Redondo yun. No? Pero it's true that merong mga artist na ginawa yun na para kumita, they changed their name and worked on those comics. Wala lang akong hard evidence that would, para masabi ko definitely na ito ginawa ni ganito, ginawa ni ganyan. No? Pero it's something that happened na na kinonfirm sa akin ng mga ibang artist ng araw. Okay na ba tayo? Okay na, wala na. Last chance to ask a question. Kasi ito, nahuli kong Komikon.
Ano yung sabi niyo tungkol kay Jonas?
Ha?
Tungkol kay Jonas, ano yung opinion niyo tungkol sa
Jonas. Laki ng taling niya.
One last question before we close. Anyone? Yes po.
Yun.
Pwede po ba magpasign na?
Nangalin.
Yun sa table ko.
Ay.
Since dumating ako 2 o'clock, pasagarin ko na yung Komikon hanggang sarap. So, andito ako andyan. Anong oras kayo? 8 hanggang 8 nandito ako. So,
tomorrow, what time will we expect you kaya?
ganun din siguro.
2 to 8, ganun. Or 2 to something.
Mga 2 hanggang matapos yung talk ni Eileen.
Okay. So that's same time as this one. Tomorrow, si Ma'am Eileen naman ang magsasalita. Ayan. So, yan. So, if you're here tomorrow, si Ma'am Eileen naman ang magtatalk.
Kasama niya si Zach.
Si Zach Gilson. So, they're gonna talk about yung kanilang legacies sa family nila as artists. Ayan. So, ayun po. If nothing else po, you can still stay. Ang susunod po natin ay ang napakagwapong Pogi Finder. si Jay Ignacio will be showing us his documentaries, especially about si Alex Nino, another legendary artist who is based in the US. Ayan, so yun po. So maraming salamat po, Sir Gerry. Yeah. So, you'll see him po doon ulit sa table niya. Tapos if you want to stay po para sa documentaries, please do stay po. Thank you.
Alam niyo ba na